Hi, guys. I hope you guys have had a great week. I know it has been a busy but good one for me. It felt great to get back on here last week and do the video. I think it gave me a little bit of motivation. So, with that being said, today we're just going to kind of explore motivation. It's oftentimes and very common that people start to feel stuck or unmotivated, and that's okay. I mean, it's okay to ask for help on how to get remotivated. It's okay to ask for tips and tools. So I thought I would go ahead and just get this out there since I did talk about last week how things have been going on. And to be honest, I just didn't have the motivation to come on here and talk to you guys. Well, it's back. I have that motivation. So let's talk about what I did. Let's talk about some steps to help yourself. Let's talk about what you can do to manifest the start of trying to find some motivation, because I think this is something that we all can struggle with at times, whether it be motivation to do a job or to exercise or to cook it better or do whatever. Sometimes we just lack that motivation. So I'm here to help. I'm going to help with some tools. So the first thing is you have to really acknowledge your feelings. You have to know exactly what's going on with you, right? So when motivation wanes, like when it's just laying there and it's lacking, it can be challenging just to do daily life stuff. Um, Take a moment, accept those feelings, and remember you're really not alone. Just like you're listening to this, you can probably relate with the feeling that I said. I just didn't have the motivation to come on here and talk to you guys because of where I was at, right? You can probably think of a time where you were exactly at that point. And the best thing is if we could accept that feeling, if we can accept that we're losing that motivation or we're lacking motivation, it's oftentimes that's your first step to gaining motivation, honestly, because once you accept it, you've acknowledged it, you can say, okay, what do I want to do? You can start setting some goals, and then that takes you to the next thing. Don't expect full force comeback, right? Like, I didn't just one day wake up say I'm going to create a video. No, I struggle with that same feeling previously in previous weeks. But what happened was is that I had it in my mind and I started small. I started tackling some small tasks like, okay, so I want to go back to videoing and I want to go back to putting stuff on YouTube. So what do I need to do? I know it seems silly, but I had to create some ideas. I had to get my mind in a motivated thinking process. So I just set tiny achievable goals, such as think of, when you want to post, think of what you want to post about, think of how that will impact your daily life. I set tiny goals that I could achieve. And then at the point to where it became a reality, then it was easier. So whether it's getting out of bed or taking a short walk or simply drinking more water, um, everything you do to achieve your goals that you've set will help motivate you. It fuels you. It gives you the passion and the desire and the umph to want to go ahead and do it, right? That's the first thing you have to do. Once you've set those goals, it's good to stop and think about the why. Why am I doing this? What motivates me? Is there a specific goal? Is there a specific dream or thought? Or what's going into this? Why are we wanting to get there, to that point? Um, so reconnecting with that why can provide you the motivation in itself. So if you're sitting there trying to explore, okay, so I want to get a better job because I'm miserable in my job. I'm not wanting to go to work. I'm calling in the whatever. I want a different job. Normally, if you can reconnect with that, right? And you can say, okay, I want to do this because I want to take care of myself better. I want to take care of my family. I want a new car. I want to travel the world. Whatever the reason is that you're wanting to do that, if you can identify it, it gives you a bigger picture, and then that itself motivates you. And you want to write those down somewhere. Keep them close. Put them on the table where you get up every morning, or if you have a whiteboard, write them on a whiteboard. Just whatever you have to do to make those whys available for you to see. I'm one that really likes the mirror images or the whiteboards, anything that you can write on with a erase marker and then wipe off. I love those because to me, not only do you write them down, but then at the end, after you've done everything, you get to check them off or erase them. And that's a task that is complete, which motivates me to go to the next one. So it's all a combining circle, right? So find your why, write it down, make sure you're looking at it, make sure you're seeing it visibly every day, multiple times a day. Don't be ashamed to do that. If you are ashamed to do that, then there's a whole nother topic that we need to talk about, right? Because if you see it and anybody in your home sees it, or anybody that comes to visit you sees it, and there's a oh no, I shouldn't have that out, then we need to reevaluate other situations, right? But find that why, get it wrote down, make it visible, and just start creating that small plan, right? And then what you do from there is you go to the next step. You create the routine, right? So if you are currently not working because you don't like your job and you're just laying on the couch all day watching TV, eating bonbons, feeling sorry for yourself simply, then let's do something different. We have identified that we want something. We've set some tiny goals. We've found the why. Now let's create a routine, right? And let's be honest, if you're not working, you have plenty of time to get up every day, brush your teeth, wash your hair, do whatever you need to do for self-hygiene. Take some time to take care of you and then get busy. Start the resume, put the application in, do some job searches, find something to reach your goal. If you're wanting to start a whole new career path, figure out what you need to do for that. Just go ahead and create that routine. Get up every day and do this over and over and over until you've gotten to where you want to be, right? So that routine may change a little, right? And if that being said, that change should be once you've, did the resume, you've applied for the job, then you're going to start changing that routine because you're going to start going to interviews. Your routine can be flexible, but keep it, the primary goal of it, focused. Every day we should be doing something to reach what you're wanting, right? And the more that you can do that, you get up in the morning and you start yourself and you find joy in what you're doing, and you're doing your self-care and you're taking care of what you need to, what that can do, it helps ground us, which makes our motivation a little bit easier to access, right? And you're also taking care of yourself. So that also will motivate yourself. So create that routine. The next thing with that is that next step would be create yourself a surrounding that's positive. Okay. You can't be setting goals. You can't be finding your whys. You can't create a routine if the surroundings are not conclusive to help foster that. Okay. So you can, it's just harder, right? So if you know that your goal is to get a new job and you've done all these things, you've made a new resume, you've done all the things of applying for jobs. If you're around somebody that's like, you can't do that. You can't do that. That's just not good. That's not good. That's not good. Unfortunately, that's going to kill your motivation. That is going to bring you down, right? Does that mean that you can leave your spouse if that's the one that's doing it? No, don't do that. But create and seek out communities like online or groups that can help you with that, whether it be friends or other family members, Don't let one person bring you down, make you lose that motivation. Seek out others that help give you that support and positivity, right? Because what that'll do is that will, again, help perceive an idea that, okay, I can do this. When you have your buddy sitting here, man, that's awesome. Definitely you should apply for that. You would be great for that job. Let your support system be there. Sometimes online communities are great. The one thing that I love about where I work with BetterHelp is that my clients have access to a full group setting to where they can get engaged with these groups. And what that does is allow them to feel not alone in the situation, but also has encouragement with others. They get that support from other people that are dealing with the same thing that they are and that want the same goal. They're wanting the motivation. They're wanting the lust for life. They're wanting to feel that positivity. And so they often give positivity to get positivity. So just make sure you're creating yourself as a surroundings that's inclusive to that. There might be a few setbacks, but don't let it bring you down. Just find other ways to find the positivity, right? The next thing is going to be this, and I say this a lot, but you have to give yourself grace. Okay. You're going to have great days and you're going to have days that it's not so great. It's going to be times where you might go a week with great motivation and then you have 3 days of slump, right? Guess what? That is okay. It is okay to forgive yourself and say, okay, we're just going to get back up and we're going to do it again. Why? Because we don't live in a perfect world. A lot of elements go into our motivation. And there may be times that you've hit that high. Like I said, you've been going all week. It's been a great motivational week. And then you wake up on Saturday morning and you have a flat tire. Oh, and then you go to get the tire fixed and they say it's $900 because you don't just need one tire, you need 4 tires. Well, then you have that and it just keeps spiraling. Like that effect happens. That's going to happen. It's bound to happen that you might have an unmotivational day. And guess what? It's okay. Because motivation is one that goes up and down, up and down, up and down, right? So be kind to yourself. Don't beat yourself up. Don't. Practice self-compassion and understand that seeking out help when needed is not a bad thing. Whether it be seeking out the help from your therapist, talking to them about the situation, or maybe you have a good friend that you can talk to, or a preacher, whoever it is, seek out that help because that's how you get to where you want to be. That's how you re-motivate and keep that motivation going, is by not letting it take you down. I talk to a lot of clients that will be like, man, I was having a great week. And then all of a sudden now it's just shit. And I have no motivation to do anything. Okay, explain to me why. And when we get to that why, it's normally because they have not given themselves grace. They've not allowed themselves to say it's okay that this isn't a perfect day, or it's okay that I don't have the motivation today. They don't give themselves that grace. And guys, we have to do that. Giving yourself compassion and letting yourself know that it's okay is huge. Because if you're expecting perfectionism from yourself and everything to go as is every day, you're going to be disappointed. You're going to find that it's hard to recoup. You're going to find that your bounce back takes twice as long. So it's just one of those things where you just have to say, I'm going to give myself some grace today. I'm going to allow myself to be okay if something doesn't go as is. And I'll talk about expectations of yourself and others in later videos, but expect some fallbacks. Because if you will expect those to fall in days occasionally, when it happens, it's going to be okay. For example, I've been on this journey of trying to, lose some weight, get healthier, do things, and I'm doing great. Is there a day where I might eat a dang candy bar? Yes, there is. How do I not let that take me down? Because I expected to live life. I expected to have normalcy. I expected to eat a birthday cake. I expected things to come along where I would have days that weren't as great as others. And on days that it's not as great as others, I might not recoup back immediately the next day. I might not, walk off the sugar that I ate or whatever. But it was my outlook on it. It was my expectations. When I started this journey, when I got the motivation and I set the goal, I put those, giving grace to myself into accountability. I put them into place. So on days that I'm struggling, guess what I do? Okay, we got this. And I keep going. I gained 2 pounds on the scale this morning. And, I could have been really mad about it, but I didn't. I'm like, well, there's some factors. Is it my time of the month? Have I went to the bathroom? Well, I don't know. There's just all kinds of factors. Like last week when I weighed, did I do this differently? If I didn't put the mindset in that it's okay and give myself some self-compassion, I could let that 2 pound gain throw me off and ruin my day. But guess what? I'm not. I'm still going to eat a healthy diet. I'm still going to eat a great steak tonight with some green beans. And I'm going to get up tomorrow and I'm going to drink my protein shake. And I'm going to do just what I've always done. And it'll be okay. It'll be okay. Because I love myself and I love where I'm at. And if I let that bring me down, I'm going to let that spiral and it will unmotivate me in a lot of the different areas in life. So I choose not to go there. So give yourself some grace. Set proper expectations when you're starting this. Like let yourself have some days where it's going to be harder. That way, when those hard days come, you're able to give yourself some grace and move on and go to the next, right? Guys, motivation is hard, hard, hard. And when I tell you that I am probably one of the most motivated people I know, I am. But I also know that I am human just like you. The only difference is that, going through school and doing what I've done and had the years of practice and working with people, I have learned that I have to do what I tell my people to do. I have to give the tools to you on how I learned. I make sure that I practice what I preach, and I try to do that to all regards. Do I fail some days? Yes. But it's okay. Just like I would tell anybody else, it's okay, Diane. Get up and just keep going. Now, I'm not saying you have to get up at this moment, but start somewhere, right? It's okay. Give yourself some grace. And that's very important with motivation. So I want to thank you guys for taking your time to listen today. And thank you so much for being a support to me. And listening and just being part of this. Just remember, it's a journey. It's not a destination. It's a journey. You're going to go through and get to a destination with time. But it's a journey. Put that in your mind. Okay. So if you can, remember to like, share, and subscribe. And remember, I'll be back next week for a new video. Thanks, guys. Have a great one. Bye.